So I was walking with Elder Hansen and Elder Golson in Khabarovsk. This is my second area, probably my fourth transfer or so. And it was a beautiful day in Khabarovsk. And the city's really cool. There's a big sidewalk that kind of goes through the heart of the main road. So there's like one lane goes, traffic goes this way, traffic goes this way over here. And there's like this park that just like goes down and like, mirrors the road. And Russians love parks and trees and like random play gyms everywhere. And they have basketball courts too, which for me, being a basketball enthusiast, I loved. So happens Elder Hansen played basketball up in Montana. And Elder Goldson's a tall, lanky guy from back east, down south area. And he loved to play too. And so there we were. And off, we're walking through this big sidewalk, and off to the side a little bit is a little blacktop with a basketball court, and some guys are playing on it, and they're like, "Hello, America," and we're like, "Hey, privyet," and just like, hey, we can speak Russian is what we're saying. They're like, "Hey, you want to come shoot?" We're like, "Yeah, we're doing our thing, we're contacting," and this for me was a good eye opener of like thinking outside the box, like when opportunity presents itself. So we're like, hey, we're gonna come over, we'll come shoot with you. And I'm not like, not the tallest guy in the world, 5'11" on a good day, 5'10" normally, but one thing that I really liked is I like jumping high. Okay, so this will come into play later. We start talking with them, and they have like their Dwight Howard jersey on. Some guys got a Melo jersey, LeBron James, and like these guys, they consider themselves some ballers, playing basketball. And so we like, Elder Hansen gets the ball, and he just like drains an outside shot, like, pretty lucky. Like, let's be honest, because you never make your first shot. And they're like, America, you good, yeah. And we're like, we're okay. And then, like, I think I shot a shot, and it, like, went in. I was like, what are the odds, right? And so we're just asking for it. They're like, oh, America, good, huh? And then they start acting Russian. They're like, so you guys play basketball? We're like, yeah, once in a while. And, we can't help but pass up a game. So we start playing, and we're like, all right. So we take all our the white handbook and all the invitations, I should say, and everything else out of our pockets and put them to the side. And they're like, all right, tuck in the tie. We're like pretending like we're like okay, but deep down we're like, this is great. This is gonna be so fun. And so we're like, okay, let's go to 7, and like first one, 7 wins. Everything like, do we keep scores or competitive? Oh, whatever. They make the rules, their country. So we start playing. It's like 2-2, and it's kind of like neck and neck. We're like, we can't lose to these guys, right? And we kind of been whitewashed into this area, so we're like, we don't have a lot of like establishment, knowing a lot of people there. So we're trying to get our name out there to people. And then one of the big guys at the top of the key, and he does a little shake and bake and drives to the hoop. And I'm just like, I'm going to let him go past me, having him think he's got a wide open layup. So I'm just like, hey, and he goes past, and then I sneak up behind him, and he's going up for the layup. And I just like jump up, and like that's one thing I can do good in life sometimes. And I just like whack and like swat it against the backboard. And it was like with authority, like I made a statement. Like I was trying to like let him know, like, hey, you may be Russian, but hey, this is a fair game, And they were like, whoa, like their eyes are open, like get the ball back, kick it out the other Hansen, drains a 3, we're up like 4-2. And then before we know it, we're like running circles around him, like passing like Harlem Globetrotters. And they're like getting all like into like, like come on man, like start playing for real. We can't lose to these guys in white shirts. They got farmer tans, and like they got walking legs and like zero definition, like we've lost everything. And we end up like beating them pretty well. Like it was like 7-2. I don't think they got a point after that. And it's just kind of like quiet, and they're like, and then we're just like, well, hey, we'll be here on Saturday. Do you want to play? By the way, we got English club in church. And they're like, really? So we start talking to them. And by then, all their buddies had came by and were watching. And they're like, oh, look, got beat by the Americans. And we ended up establishing like a Saturday afternoon sports day. And we got a lot of street cred in the city for like the Americans that beat these like street ball guys. And one of the guys we worked with, he actually quit smoking because we had talked to him about like what we believe, and he felt really motivated to do it. And they stopped swearing more and more, and we actually said, can we start with a prayer, like something we do, and explain more about that. And we started doing spiritual thought before, and it led into a lot of great stuff. But it all started with a little pickup game and you know, shaking off the rust of some basketball and taking care of business in Russia. So it was really fun. It was good. Yeah.